us learn what is there inside seminiferous tubules. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw one seminiferous tubule. So this is one seminiferous tubule. Okay, so here I'm going to use a white color here. Again, inside the seminiferous tubule you could see a single layered cells which is inside to the seminiferous tubules like this, a single layered cells, and all the cells which is present very close to the membrane of the seminiferous tubule, which is actually called as germ cells. Germ cells. In the future, these cells actually are going to modify into motile sperms. Let us see how exactly later. Okay, germ cells can also be called as spermatogonia. What do you call? Spermatogonia. What is the ploidy of spermatogonia? It is nothing but compared to pollen mother cell or microspore mother cell. That is actually the ploidy is 2n itself. In the future, it's going to form the male gamete. So obviously, it is 2n. Okay, only single layer. Okay, now after that, inner to the center, very close, which is already attached to the germ cells, actually another layer of cells will be seen like this, which is present within the seminiferous tubules like this. I am using pink color. Okay, and these pink color cells are actually called as Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells. Okay, no need to remember the ploidy. The ploidy is 2n. Okay, but you have to remember what is the function of it. Very important. You will get this question. What is the function of Sertoli cells? Very simple, you can easily predict, because Sertoli cells are present very close to the germ cell. Germ cells are in future, it's going to be the sperm. Obviously, Sertoli cells will provide the nourishment to the germ cells. Correct? Okay, so what is the function? It provides nutrition. I'll just write nut here, nutrition to the developing germ cells, or nutrition to the germ cells. We can also call Sertoli cells as nutritive cells. Very simple, we just call it as Sertoli cells. Now I'm going to draw one more seminiferous tubule. Okay, so we'll draw it here. As I said, in one testicular lobule there will be around 2 to 3 seminiferous tubule. One diagram is already done. So another seminiferous tubule. We'll draw one more. We'll just draw 3 seminiferous tubules which is present in one testicular lobule to understand the concept. And you could see that between the seminiferous tubule there is a gap. See, you could see the gap, right? This gap. And this gap is filled with some cells, and the gap is actually called as, I have to write here, where I can write, okay, I'll write here. These gaps between the seminiferous tubule, or spaces between seminiferous tubules, are called as, I'll just write here, interstitial space. You call it as interstitial space, which is present between 2 or maybe 3 seminiferous tubules actually. Within the interstitial space, what you see is, I'm using white color here, some cells will be there, which is present in the interstitial space. Okay, you can understand it. Okay, so these cells are called as interstitial cell, but it has got a specific name which is called as, I'm using blue color because it's very important, you get this question. They are also called as Leydig cells. Remember it, interstitial cells are also called as Leydig cell. Again you get a question, what is the function of Leydig cell? Why it has to be present in the interstitial space? Obviously it must have a function. What is the function? See, I'll write here. The function is, it is very important for spermatogenesis. A hormone requirement is very important for spermatogenesis. That hormone is called as androgen. It is also called as testicular hormone, because it is present, everything is present within the testis, right? Obviously a hormone which is present within the testis called as testicular hormone. And you all know that the male hormone which is synthesized by the Leydig cell, what is the male hormone? Androgens. What is the other name of androgen? You know it, testosterone. Okay, androgens or testosterone is synthesized by the Leydig cells or interstitial cell, which play an important role in the initiation of spermatogenesis. For the initiation of the spermatogenesis, what is required? A hormone is required actually, because that hormone has to send the message to your brain, okay, anterior pituitary, to release the FSH and LHS. We'll talk about it later. And as a result, spermatogenesis can be synthesized. Okay, so that is the function of Leydig cells. Very very important, remember it. Okay, so now I'm going to erase this and we'll talk about accessory ducts now. Okay, and now let us talk about the accessory ducts. As I said that accessory ducts are nothing but the pipe system, okay, which plays an important role in the transport of the sperm. Okay, so we see here the particularly here you could see I have used pink color. See, these are all actually the accessory ducts. Okay, so first let us name it. Okay, so I'm using pink color now. The first accessory duct. So that means I'm labeling. I will label it later actually, but I'll tell you, we'll start from the inside to outside. That means actually within the testis what kind of pipe system is there, then outside to the testis what kind of pipe system is there, then exactly within the external genitalia, the penis, what kind of pipe system is there. Okay, so that means we'll see the first pipe system or ducts is nothing but called as rete testis. Rete testis. Okay, rete testis, and here I just want to tell you that see, these are all actually the testis which contains lot of testicular lobules, each testicular lobule containing around 2 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule, where inside the seminiferous tubule the sperm or spermatogenesis takes place. Let us imagine the sperms are produced now. Okay, sperms are there in the testis. Now it has to reach till here. How exactly it will reach? Simple. See, the sperms actually first are collected by the first duct, that is the first pipe which is actually surrounding the testis actually. All these are called as rete testis. That means if I draw one seminiferous tubule, see, I'm using white color here. Earlier I have used green color. Okay, this is one seminiferous tubule present within the, okay, we just this is actually the compartment, that is testicular lobule. Okay, we just draw 3. Okay, and now each is the site of spermatogenesis. Now I am using blue color. See, the pipe system which is attached to this particular seminiferous tubule. See, there are 3 pipes, and ultimately it goes away from the testis like this. And the pipe system which is connected to each seminiferous tubule is called as the rete testis. Okay, got it. That is the first pipe system. Then actually we just write the second pipe system, that is actually called as the vasa efferentia. Normally students get confused with the vasa efferentia and vas deferens. I'll talk about it. The second pipe system is the vasa efferentia. Okay, and here you could see, and all the rete testis now actually comes out of the testis. They actually come from the each seminiferous tubule and comes out of the testis and looks like very complex tubular structures, actually network of pipe system, and ultimately it opens like this. See, and opens like this. Actually this particular structure what you see here is actually the vasa efferentia. Okay, so that is called as the vasa efferentia. That means rete testis opens into vasa efferentia. Okay, I'll just write what happens to the vasa efferentia now. It opens into another big pipe. This is actually the big pipe. You could see here, this is the big pipe. Got it? So this is the big pipe which comes out of the vasa efferentia. We call it as epididymis. A bit complex term actually. Epididymis is the third pipe system. Okay, you could see here, this is the epididymis. Okay, then finally you could see that from the epididymis you could see another white pipe actually runs here. See here, it finally here it comes. This is actually the urinary bladder, and you could see many glands actually. We'll talk about it later. And finally see like this. So this pipe system till the urinary bladder, the white pipe system which comes out of the epididymis runs till the urinary bladder. That pipe system or duct is actually called as vas deferens. We call it as vas deferens. That means this is all about the accessory ducts. Rete testis first, then vas efferentia second, epididymis third, vas deferens fourth. Okay, so now let us see. I just want to write what is the meaning of urethral meatus. It is given in your NCERT. Anyhow, I'm going to tell it. What is the meaning? What is exactly urethral meatus? Okay, the pipe system which is actually common for it is a passage which is common passage for both urine as well as sperm. Okay, obviously testes produce sperm, so sperms are traveling till here, till urinary bladder, the big pipe, big bag like structure, urinary bladder. And at the same time, here you could see that the ureter actually which collects the urine from the kidney, and ultimately now actually it brings the urine into the urinary bladder. Actually, one thing to remember that this vast difference is there, right? It will not go into, or like it will not open inside the urinary bladder. That means there is no mixing up of sperm as well as urine in the urinary bladder. The pipe system separates it. Okay, so ultimately you could see here, this is the urethra, correct? So we call it as urethra. The urethra is the common passage for both sperm as well as urine. That means the urethra is the pipe system which comes out of the urinary bladder, correct, which contains the urine. At the same time, you could see here the vas deferens also opens into urethra, not into urinary bladder. Very important. It is where the urethra is the common passage for sperm as well as urine, and ultimately you could see that means the sperm as well as urine will be carried by the single passage. This finally from the pipe from the urinary bladder till the tip of the penis, this is the common passage, is called as urethral meatus. Urethral meatus can also be said that it is the opening of the urethra. Okay, that is actually the urethral meatus. Just remember it actually, got it? So that's, see, this is very important. You have to remember that the pipe system is entirely different. The vas difference is different. Okay, but it opens into the urethra. Whereas the urinary bladder, which containing urine, opens into urethra. So urethra is the common opening or common pipe system for both sperm as well as this one, what you call the urine. Remember it. Okay, so this entire system is called as the urethral meatus. Okay, so that's all about it. Now we'll talk about accessory glands. Now we'll talk about accessory glands. I'm talking about the special exocrine glands actually, which play an important role in secreting certain substances which actually helps the sperms. Okay, so the first accessory gland is seminal vesicle. The second one is called as the prostate gland, and third one is bulbourethral gland. Okay, here I'll just write we have a pair of seminal vesicle. Okay, whereas the prostate gland is only one. Here seminal vesicles are two, whereas prostate gland is only one, and bulbourethral gland is a pair, that is two will be there. Let us see this, where exactly they are situated within the male reproductive system. Okay, see here actually you could say this is actually the urinary bladder, and you could say this is the urinary bladder. Okay, here you could see only one seminal vesicle. This one, the red color one, is actually one seminal vesicle, but the other side one more is there actually. Okay, and here I have used green color. This is actually the seminal vesicle. How many are there? A pair of seminal vesicles are there. Two are there actually. Okay, and then actually the prostate gland. Where exactly you could see the prostate gland? A single prostate gland. You could see a heart shaped structure. I have used brown color here, and you could see this is actually a single prostate gland, and here you could see I have used purple color actually. So the box shaped structure, that is the prostate gland. First comes seminal vesicle, then comes the prostate gland, and ultimately below the prostate gland I have used blue color. A pair of bulbourethral gland is there. It is pronounced as bulbourethral gland is situated just below the prostate gland. You could see here, this is actually the bulbourethral gland. Seminal vesicle, two are there, and only one prostate gland is there, and a pair of bulbourethral gland is there. Okay, so that is actually the where exactly they are present. Okay, now the function. When I discuss this in the NEET class, obviously I'll give you the detailed explanation about it. I'm talking for only board examination, so this is the board syllabus. We'll restrict it. Seminal vesicle and prostate gland, they have only special functions. The functions include, I'll just write here, they secrete calcium, they also secrete fructose, and also they secrete seminal plasma, right here, a liquid. Okay, so these three things are secreted by seminal vesicle and prostate gland, which help to nourish these sperms actually on their way into this urethral meatus. Got it? They help to nourish the sperms. Obviously the sperms will be traveling here in this pipe, right? Obviously, what will happen, the secretions will be released directly into this pipe. Which pipe? Urethra. Okay, so that means seminal vesicle, the ducts of the seminal vesicle open into urethra. The prostate gland opens into urethra, whereas the ducts of the pipes of bulbourethral gland opens into the urethra itself. Okay, and all the secretion will present in the urethra now. Got it? Because urethra is the common passage for both sperm as well as urine. One thing to remember, that when urine is traveling inside this urethra, at that time the seminal vesicle, prostate gland and bulbourethral glands will be non-functional. They don't work actually. And one more thing is actually the sperms also will not be released at that time. Okay, so that is actually a regulatory mechanism. When sperms are released, urine will be stopped. Urine will not enter here. Okay, when urine is produced, obviously the sperms are not released. So that is actually the mechanism, regulatory mechanism. We'll talk in the NEET class how exactly. Okay, so then what is the function of bulbourethral gland? The function, it has got another name, I'll not say it now, we'll talk in the NEET class. Okay, bulbourethral gland, mainly the function is, it actually secretes certain liquid which actually plays an important role in the lubrication. Lubrication in the sense, makes easy passage for the sperms. Okay, lubrication, right here. So lubrication of the urethra, very important. You may get a question like, what is the function of bulbourethral gland? It produces a liquid which, obviously this is the one, the liquid will enter into the urethra through the duct actually, and then in the urethra liquid will be there. That means the first liquid which is produced before the coitus is actually the bulbourethral gland secretion. Okay, first it will be secreted, and first it actually runs till the urethral meatus, the end point actually, and ultimately it will lubricate, and also it will dissolve if any urine is present. Okay, making sure that the sperms will not get mixed with the urine if any urine is there within the pipe system. That is actually the function of bulbourethral gland, lubrication of the urethra, and also it makes the easy passage for the sperm movement within the urethra till the urethral meatus. Okay, so that's all about actually the function of accessory glands. Now let us talk about the external genitalia, that is the penis. So now we'll learn about the external genitalia, that is called as the penis. So here this is actually the penis or external genitalia of male reproductive system. Okay, this plays a very important role in sexual intercourse, where insemination is done by this penis. Okay, see here I have written foreskin and glands penis. Let us see what is exactly that. So I am going to draw the diagram of the penis here. Okay, so here this is actually the penis, okay, which is cylindrical shaped actually, and normally even this particular penis is, obviously that there is a pipe called as the urethra. Okay, the opening of the urethra is called as the urethral meatus. Okay, and here you could see that here there is a bulb shaped structure is there at the terminal or end of the penis. Okay, so this bulb shaped structure is called as the glans penis. Remember it? Okay, the bulb shaped structure, we'll talk about it more about it in NEET class. Okay, and then I'm just using the other color, and this glans penis is covered by a foreskin, that is a skin is there actually, okay, which covers the glans penis, which is called as the foreskin. Okay, that means the foreskin protects the glans penis. Okay, then one more thing is, see, for the sexual intercourse, maintaining the erect posture of the penis is very important actually. It's very important for the sexual intercourse, for insemination process. How exactly erect posture can be maintained? It is maintained by special tissue actually. Okay, there are some special tissues will be there within the penis. Okay, special tissues which is also containing lot of blood vessels. Alright, here the blood vessels are present within these special tissues, and we actually call it as spongy tissues, and which contains lot of blood vessels, and which actually supplies the blood into the penis, which maintains the erect posture of the penis, which is very important for sexual intercourse. So that's all about the external genitalia, that is penis.